Hello everyone, I'm Sign1News anchor Martha Anger. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment during this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. A new landmark FDA proposal is aimed at improving access to hearing aid technology for millions of Americans by offering the devices over the counter for the first time ever without having to see a doctor or audiologist. Under the new proposed FDA rule, hearing aids would be sold over the counter in more traditional retail stores or online, making them less expensive and more available to those who need them. According to NPR, many advocates and lawmakers have been calling for OTC hearing aids for years. When finalized, the OTC category would apply to certain air conduction hearing aids intended for adults age 18 and older with mild to moderate hearing loss. But people with severe hearing loss or younger than 18 years old would still require a prescription. There is no timeline yet for when consumers will be able to buy the new OTC hearing aids. But for the next 90 days, the FDA will be accepting written comments from the public at this website. Comments will be received until January 18th, 2022, with the time cutoff at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. But we can start the conversation now. What do you think of the new OTC hearing aids? The search for Brian Laundrie, the man considered a person of interest in the death of his fiancée, Gabby Petito, may be over. The FBI says human remains were found in a nature reserve Wednesday, along with personal items belonging to Laundrie. The grim discovery was made on the day Laundrie's parents were assisting in the search for their son, and Laundrie's father stumbled upon some of his son's personal items. But authorities say even though they may have found Laundrie, questions still remain about his possible involvement in the death of his fiancée. A rise in symptoms of Tourette syndrome, mostly among teen girls, are being reported all over the world. And according to Wall Street Journal researchers, the social media app TikTok may be to blame. Many of the girls with the new tics shared an interest in watching TikTok videos from influencers with Tourette's. Many of the same girls also had a history of anxiety or depression. And doctors say the tics are likely being learned and copied from the videos and can be treated with therapy. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says check your pantry for whole red, white, and yellow onions from Chihuahua, Mexico, dated July 1st to August 27th, and distributed in the U.S. by ProSource. The CDC says those onions are responsible for a salmonella outbreak in 37 states. No deaths have been reported, but 652 people have gotten sick. 129 people have been hospitalized. And the CDC stresses, do not eat, sell, or serve them. Throw them away and wash surfaces they may have come in contact with. Hundreds of Netflix employees held a demonstration Wednesday in Los Angeles. They were upset with how the streaming giant handled the controversy swirling around Dave Chappelle's latest comedy special entitled The Closer. In part of his performance, Chappelle talks about transgender people, including Daphne Dorman, who he says was a friend of his who died of suicide in 2019. But some LGBTQ plus advocacy groups were critical of the material. According to Variety, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos wrote internal emails that said Chappelle's comments were provocative but didn't cause real-world harm. So protesters will present Sarandos with a list of requests, including adding more trans and non-binary people to executive-level positions. Former President Donald Trump is starting his own social media network called Trump Media and Technology Group, or TMTG. And he says it will launch what he calls Truth Social. Trump was banned from most social media platforms earlier this year following the January 6th insurrection. He says he created Truth Social to stand up to the tyranny of big tech. A beta launch for invited guests is set for November, and then a nationwide rollout is expected early next year. If designing your own phone is a dream, Samsung is making it a reality. The company unveiled a made-to-order version of its Flip 3 smartphone. The company says soon customers will be able to pick from a handful of design options that may reflect their personality or taste. They can choose black or silver for the frame, and then add a pop of color on the front or back panel. You can start creating your phone now through Samsung's Bespoke Studio website. There are 49 combinations possible, and the customization starts at a little over $1,000. Sign1News will be broadcasting live updates Monday through Friday. Then this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, join us for a live panel of diverse guests to discuss the hot topics of the week. Again, be sure to post your thoughts and comments at any time during any of the live shows. We might even share your comment. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Apple Watch, Amazon, and Roku.